When the people we trust to protect us turns to crime, these are the disturbing cases of corrupt cops, starting with this officer who had no regard for the laws he was supposed to protect.
There's an old saying, it ain't no fun when a rabbit's got the gun. It's equally applicable when he has the video. The eye of justice.
It was supposed to be a routine stop, but on January 28, 2015, in Inkster, Michigan, Officer William Melendez turned a traffic stop into a violent assault. He and his partner pulled over a 58-year-old man named Floyd Dent. The stop should have been uneventful, but Officer William Melendez made it violent. Dashcam footage showed him dragging Dent out of his car and punching him repeatedly in the head. The encounter landed Dent in the hospital. Floyd Dent was first accused of drug possession and resisting, but those charges vanished after prosecutors reviewed the dashcam. Instead, Officer Melendez found himself charged with assault and misconduct. The brutality caught on camera left Judge Vonda Evans visibly uncomfortable in court.
On the evening of January 28, 2015, where his life changed forever, he was stopped by the defendant, a then Inkster police officer, and his partner, Officer Zelenowski. Mr. Dent was stopped for a minor traffic offense and ordered out of his vehicle. With his hands extended out of his driver's window, he was grabbed out, thrown to the ground, and struck 16 times in the head by the defendant. In his attempt to arrest him, he was thrown onto a window shield of a patrol car, bleeding profusely from a head injury. The responding police officers arrived as the defendant is wrestling the defendant to the ground. Mr. Dent was struck, kicked, and tased while on the ground by what appeared to be a group of angry, anxious police officers that celebrated after the defendant was beaten and cuffed. The video in the car shows the police officers fist bumping as a celebratory act of bravery by the defendant and his cohorts. But the one image that struck out to the court was looking at Mr. Dent in his cell. If his conduct was indicative of what he was thinking, I would have thought this: what crime did I commit? Being a black man in a Cadillac, stopped for a minor traffic offense by a group of racist police officers looking to do a nigger. As Police Officer John Zelenowski, auxiliary police officer, testified in court too, in his response to a text, was quoted as saying, "At least give me the satisfaction of knowing that you're out there beating up niggas right now. LOL. How humiliating and degrading that must have been. He was left in a cell for a number of hours before getting medical treatment. But after hearing the defendant and his fellow officers joke about his injuries as they were wiping blood off their uniforms with disinfectant. 2015. Please be quiet in my courtroom. How does this happen? I'm going to tell you how it happened. Some years ago, 19 to be, well, 25 to be exact, I remember coming into this building with such enthusiasm, so excited. And I remember a lawyer telling me that nobody leaves out of this building like they came in. I didn't understand what that meant. 20 years later, I do. Everybody has a grand idea about changing the world. And you seem like you felt like you're fighting a losing battle. And little by little, it grows. It's a cancer. It starts to eat away at you. You become cynical. You start to look at pictures of homicides, not for the goriness, but as evidentiary value to see was the shooter left-handed or right-handed. It eats away at you. You go to social events, you tell people what you do for a living, and after they say, what kind of cases do you hear? And as a judge, prosecution, defense, does criminal defense, a police officer, after a while they say, we don't want to know anymore. That's the job in the criminal justice system. It's compounded with that being a police officer. There's a culture among police officers. And that culture is a norm of understanding all police officers within a department adhere to. Particular norms, values, attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors. They come in three forms. The blue wall of silence. Protecting police officers at all costs because supervisors and citizens are distrustful, evil, and untrustworthy. Us versus them. The good police versus the others. Citizens and offenders, they're all grouped together. They're one and the same. Cover-up mentality, which discourages officers from trusting supervisors and citizens because the police officers believe that the public didn't understand them. They don't understand true police work. And they are forced to face criticism from others about their job, from the media, from their families and friends. These pressures and expectations force officers who have a pure desire to purely serve the community as an occupation to conform to this group mentally or face being ostracized and labeled as an outcast among that group. These methods of indoctrination are passed along to new police recruits in the academy by stressing the importance of obedience to authority through a structure of shame and honor. It teaches them to conform and obey to the prevailing standards of the police culture. Field training, the recruit gets a reality check of what it's like to be out in the city. They then begin to shy away from what they've learned in the academy, and automatically they become a prototype of really who trains them. It's horrible, and it's worse than when cities that lack resources to properly train its new and existing officers with methods to combat this culture and adopt new ways to handle the stress of the job. One of the things that prosecutors says is that we want to deter others police officers from behavior like this. Being a police officer in a major city with very little funding is damned if you do and damned if you don't. 6 months police academy for most cities, long hours, horrible pay. I was out at a mall yesterday. I asked a woman a question. I said, you don't have to answer. How much do you get paid an hour? She said, $15 with benefits. Well, guess what? That's more than what Inkster gets. They don't get benefits. The equipment, the police cars are old. We went out to the scene. Early in the morning, there were people who were using drugs. They just kind of came out. And the only thing I could imagine was the only thing that is separating these people from drug selling are the police officers that appeared in my court. Many of the cars, the tires are almost bald. No support services for stress. No mandatory counseling for police officer. We rather put money in technology by buying bait cars and surveillance cameras. But that doesn't reduce crime. It doesn't deter it. Properly trained police officers do. According to Law Enforcement Today, a publication, police officers have the highest rate of alcoholism, divorce, drug abuse, suicide. Their life expectancy is 10 years less than the average American. Police are human beings too. They feel despair and they have ups and downs. Their job is made worse because they see on a daily basis, more than any other occupation, the worst behavior that people can inflict on one another. They go to work every day with the knowledge that some of the people that they are sworn to protect and serve want to kill them. The media and their bosses scrutinize their every move, and they get paid worse than security guards at malls, whose the worst crime that can be committed is shoplifting. Many times people say, well, you know, if you can't handle the stress of the job, then you need to take these officers off the street. But how do we as a community expect superior services from police officers who are making security guard salaries to receiving little compensation and struggling just to pay health care? Well, many have said when they accepted a job, they accepted everything that came along with it, and they could handle it or leave. In the great words of a man that I truly respect and honor, slaves had jobs too. Our society is reactionary, not preventative. We would rather save a few dollars to balance a budget than pay millions of dollars to reverse a tragedy that we could have prevented. I know that Mr. Dent would give back every dime of his $1 million settlement to go back to where he was in his life before January 28th. I wonder what would one half of that $1.4 million settlement awarded to Mr. Dent have done for the Inkster Police Department? Training officers that wanted to serve and not hiring officers that didn't belong. It's my belief that when we begin to value and properly compensate and train those that want to serve, then and only then will we as a community receive the type of services that we expect and demand from the defenders of our community, the police. It's amazing how poor cities like Flint can find millions of dollars to attempt to reverse a situation that $100 a day could and would have prevented. The legislators said we didn't know about Flint or we'd have intervened sooner. The government's responsibility is not solely to save money, but is to protect its citizenry by paying and training police officers better. My belief is simple. If we don't invest in our police officers, we're going to see more incidents like the one that I'm presiding over today. We'll pay now, or we'll pay greater later. Mr. Melendez, the purpose of this long, protracted sentencing was to offer you the one thing that this court believed you didn't give Mr. Dent: fairness and due process. Being a police officer is a tremendous and very rewarding occupation. I believe it's a calling on your life to do justice in the community. On January 28, 2015, you did not fulfill your job. You performed Just Us, a game that began with a police stop. The purpose of it was to harass and degrade a motorist in Inkster. The man chosen for your game was Floyd Dent, a black man. The game went like this. Let's follow a car in a known drug area, and based on your years of training experience, you knew that the motorist would likely be a black person. No license, armed with a gun or drugs in a vehicle.
Judge Evans issued a sharp warning just before sentencing, and as a final punishment was read out, Melendez looked completely shocked, as if he'd expected something very different.
It took me several days to read the letters that people sent talking about your character, about the man that you are, about how you went in Westland and helped to save 3 senior citizens from a burning building. 3 of those letters, I believe, were from African Americans, and one even professed to be like a mother. One or two things: either they're all racist, or there's something redeeming about you that somehow, in some way, you forgot that night. The way you denigrated that man was awful. Who would know and who would care about a lone black man being assaulted by upstanding police officers? Boy, were you wrong. They say that what you do in the dark will eventually come to light. And yes, it did. It became a worldwide example of what the police is not about, and that's brutality. At the station, the other eye of justice captured you and your posse making fun of Mr. Dent, mimicking him struggling while you all wiped the blood off your uniforms with disinfectant while he watched. Such an awesome, caring, properly trained police officer. You led your fellow officers down a path of cowardly behavior. But today you will pay for it. You will pay for 2 things: not being an example of greatness, which I know that you are from all the letters of support, awards, and commendation that you have shared with this court, and resorting to cowardly acts of barbaric behavior that led you to be convicted of. Old saying, it ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun. It's equally applicable when he has the video. The eye of justice in this case. You betrayed your city. You caused your lovely wife heartache. And you caused Mr. Dent severe anguish. And finally, in the words of Vicki Yost, your commander, accountability is required to ensure continued community trust and healing. Today, I can only punish your conduct, but only you and God can change your character. I've had an opportunity to listen to both sides. And I had to say this because I didn't say this during the trial. But it was my privilege to be able to oversee this trial because I had great lawyers. And great lawyers make jobs real easy. At this time, I am going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections. However, after weighing the allegations in this particular matter and looking at all the circumstances, including what you've done and who the person I really believe that you are, I'm going to commit you to the Michigan Department of Corrections as to count 1 for no less than 13 months, no more than 10 years. As to count 2, I'm going to give you 90 days credit for time served and close it out. The court's going to give you 85 days for credit. You have 42 days to appeal my decision. That concludes this matter. Thank you.
The city of Inkster ultimately agreed to settle with Floyd Dent for a staggering $1.4 million. Just like Officer Melendez, this detective also disregarded his badge.
She's saying that you were forcing her to perform oral sex in exchange for getting out of trouble.
Meet Detective Brian Bailey of the Louisville Metro Police Department, a man who used his badge to coerce women into becoming informants, then blackmailed them for sex. What he didn't realize is that justice may take its time, but it always arrives.
With photojournalist Darius Bowie, Travis Ragsdale.
The first red flag came in 2016, when a woman accused Detective Bailey of sexual misconduct. Shockingly, the investigation was closed without so much of an interview with Bailey or a search of his phone. Fast forward to 2020, and another woman, Jane Doe 1, filed a nearly identical complaint, this time prompting an actual interview.
How many pics of his penis would you say he sent you?
I would say close to 100.
Close to 100?
Yeah. I mean, I would say that over the course from 2017 up until 2021. I mean, that's how long he was Snapchatting me.
And at some point, does he go from sending you these inappropriate pictures to asking to meet up?
Yes.
Breathing all over my face and kissing all over my neck, and then he was ramming his fingers into my pants. That type of stuff turned him on.
Jane Doe 1 detailed how Bailey sent inappropriate texts and used his authority to manipulate her sexually. By 2021, 2 more women filed complaints of their own.
He sent dirty text messages from his LMP.
As the complaints piled up, the Louisville Metro Police Department's Public Integrity Unit launched an inquiry, and Bailey was called in.
As for any kind of nude pictures of her or anything like that?
Don't believe so, no. We've been working together for 5 years, or at least, I mean, there's nothing.
Okay, and none of that time had ever crossed over into the...
No, we never went on a date. She's a 55-year-old woman.
That's the allegation, so that's why I have to ask that question.
I understand.
I hate to put you in that situation if it's not true, but that is the allegation. And she's saying that you were forcing her to perform oral sex in exchange for getting out of trouble. So I have to ask you straight up, and you're saying no, that's never occurred.
I mean, I'm scared. Obviously, I don't know. No.
And she had a shirt with semen on it that she says is yours. So she has saved that shirt for quite some time. We've sent that to the lab. Lab comes back that it is bodily fluids. So I have a search warrant for your DNA today.
Yeah, I guess I need to ask for an attorney at this point.
The very unit tasked with uncovering misconduct seemed more interested in protecting one of their own. During the interview, they implied the accusers were likely lying and told Bailey to stay calm.
Omar's not going to charge you with anything. You know, we don't have proof.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She's basically alleging official misconduct because she is saying that you basically, or she was forced into a position to give you oral sex in exchange for getting out of trouble. So, and then with her having the DNA, I had to go the next step to either validate or disprove her story.
And I told him, you know, if it's disproving, we're going to pursue her as much as we would pursue anything.
Correct. You're free to leave, my friend.
All right, thank you.
Despite the early attempt to dismiss the claims, the investigation confirmed their credibility and revealed Bailey had lied to protect himself. All 3 victims filed suits between 2020 and 2021, accusing him of sexual assault.
Detective Brian Bailey sexually assaulted her and threatened her with criminal charges if she didn't become a confidential informant. It started in July of 2018 when she was with her boyfriend and Bailey, and Officer Jared Williams arrested the boyfriend on drug charges.
Bailey resigned from the force in 2021 before the investigation had even concluded. No charges followed, not because he was innocent, but because Kentucky's legal framework at the time made it impossible, and the statute of limitations had expired. In response, the state introduced multiple laws addressing sextortion.
Unfortunately, the amended statute cannot be applied retroactively.
Justice in the courtroom may have failed, but the civil case brought some closure. The city paid $1.8 million, split evenly between the 3 women. Just when you thought you'd seen it all, another corrupt officer shows another level of corruption.
72 kid, roll canine this way, please.
Bring the canines. I don't care, man.
Okay.
I know my rights.
On February 26, 2020, Jesse Bright was driving for Uber in Wilmington. After picking up a passenger, he was stopped by deputies who claimed they saw his car leaving a known drug zone. When they asked his passenger to step out, Bright grabbed his phone and started recording. Something just didn't feel right.
So I'm driving Uber. And my passenger's getting arrested.
Hey, Bob, turn that off, okay?
No, I'll keep recording, thank you. It's my right.
Don't record me, you got me?
I will look. You're a police officer on duty. I can record you. And if you come to this side of the vehicle, I can keep recording you.
Turn it off.
I can keep recording you.
Turn it off, I'm taking jail.
For recording you, I'm sitting in my car holding my phone.
Record me.
What is the law?
Step out of the
What are you arresting me for? I'm sitting here in my car. I'm just recording in case anything happens. I'm surrounded by 5 police officers.
You're being a jerk.
I'm scared right now. I'm not being a jerk. I'm recording it in case anything happens.
So you better hope we don't find something in your car, okay?
They're not searching my car
Well, I'm
because
gonna search your car.
you're not searching my car.
Officer Becker demanded Bright stop recording, unaware he was speaking to a lawyer. But Jesse knew the Constitution, and the First Amendment gave him every right to document the encounter. Becker's attempt to silence him wasn't just illegal, it was symbolic of the disregard for the law by those who swore to protect it.
72 kid, roll canine this way, please.
Bring the canines. I don't care, man.
Okay.
I know my rights.
I hope so. I know what the law is.
I know the law. I'm an attorney, so I would hope I know the law.
And an Uber driver?
And here, man.
And an Uber driver.
You want my bar card?
Turn on.
Shoes on, but put shoes on. Yes, sir.
Yes, they're bringing the canines.
Check your real quick.
Sir, can you tell me what this new law is that I'm not allowed to record?
I'm sorry?
He said that there's a law I'm not allowed to record the police. I just wanted to know what that new law is.
You said you were an attorney, correct?
I am. I've never heard of this law that you're not allowed to record the police anymore. It must be brand new.
Okay, well, they just recently passed it, so.
Like super recently? Seems like a strange law. Man. I showed him my way bill. I really am just driving Uber for some extra money. I don't know where these people are going to and from.
Really about 80.
Are these his?
You from there?
Probably. They're not mine. I have nothing in my car. There's no drugs. There's no alcohol.
I didn't say you did.
Okay, well, the other officer told me he's taking me to jail, so.
Did I say that?
No, your friend said that.
Okay. My friend?
I
You mean
assume
the sergeant?
the sergeant, your friend, somebody.
Okay. This yours or his?
Probably his. Nothing is
Okay.
that's in here is mine. That's sitting right there.
Even though Jesse Bright said no, Sergeant Becker still went ahead with the search. That's not just a mistake, it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. The law demands a warrant, permission, or clear probable cause. Becker had none. And the worst part, many people are unaware when their rights are being taken away from them.
I never know where I'm taking my passengers, man. They just type in an address, I drive them to there.
If you don't mind me asking, where'd you pick him up from?
404 Thrasher, drove him over to here. He told me he's picking up a paycheck, and I'm driving him back. Yeah. He said he works as a dog groomer, and that's his manager that pays him every week that he's going to pick it up from. Next thing I know, I'm surrounded by police.
Are you from the area here? You live here in Wilmington?
Yeah, I live here. I work at the courthouse.
Work at the courthouse?
Yeah.
Mr. Bright.
Yes.
How long you been an Uber driver?
Mr. St. Pierre. A year and a half? 2 years, maybe?
Have you been stopped a lot? It's probably why you've been stopped, because you're an Uber driver, right? Because there's a lot of history on the vehicle.
On this vehicle, there's history?
Yeah.
Not that I know of.
Okay. All right. Well, here's your license. We're going to wait for K9, because I don't know if he might have dumped something under the seat and you don't want us to look. So we're just going to have K9 come out and smell. And if they do an indication, if not, then you'll be on your way, okay, sir?
Okay. I mean, if he threw something under the seat, it still has nothing to do with me. Like.
Okay, but it's in your car. I'm not saying it has anything to do with you, sir. I've never said that, did I?
No,
I asked you a
I feel
simple
like
question.
someone's going to be under the car and you're going to say, I'm the driver, it's my vehicle, I'm responsible.
Negative, sir. I've never said that to you.
Okay.
Okay?
Can you understand my frustration? I'm
Sure
just
I
at
do.
work.
I should.
I
I absolutely do.
All
What's
right.
your registration? Just hold on a minute, okay?
Thanks, man.
All right.
Can I look under my seat?
Pardon me?
Can I look under my seat to see if he threw anything under there?
All right.
Okay.
Yeah. What's your address on what's your address here? Is it on your registration?
Yeah. 4521 Yes Strips.
All right, cool. All right. Make sure you get your
License changed?
Yeah.
So I'm maintaining two
Are you a
active
student?
addresses. I get paid out to, no, I work at the courthouse here,
Okay.
but I get paychecks sent to Raleigh, so I have to maintain a Raleigh
What
address.
courtroom you work in? You work at 317?
317 or 200.
I think I've seen you there, yeah.
Or I'm in courtroom.
Okay.
I mean, I've been in that courtroom for like around 3 years now. So
Yeah. Okay.
Probably
That's why
seen
you
me
look
out there.
familiar to me. Yeah. You just dress different.
Usually in a suit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Make sure you get that changed.
Although the K9 unit did not indicate the presence of drugs or contraband, Sergeant Becker searched Mr. Bright's vehicle and performed a physical pat-down. Nothing illegal was discovered. Mr. Bright reported that officers ordered him to stop recording and proceeded to search the car without his consent. Sheriff McMahon later acknowledged that the officers acted on a misunderstanding of recording laws. Sergeant Becker was demoted as a result of the internal review, but was reinstated the following year before opting for retirement.